Hello YouTube, and welcome back once again to Fortress Zaludidil. Things are moving right along here in the fort. You can see all the dwarves are busy at work now. I got our new caste system in place and it was a gigantic pain in the ass, I'll tell you. But here, let's take a look. Okay, now, I took a tally of all of the dwarves and I had everyone situated, sorted out. Everyone's good. In total, we have 8 dwarves from Dlerschlid, Steelclutches. And so I've marked them with a SC over in the parentheses here. That's what that means. I figured it'd be best if I could pick them out quickly. And in addition to that, we have 16 children and babies in the fortress, as well as 4 useless merchants who I really should rename. There we go, that's much better. And in addition to those, we have 6 osprey people left, the fields birds. They are the only ones who are going to be tending to the crops at this point. And I actually redid the entire caste system the same exact way for the most part that I had Dlerschlid set up. I figured those Dlerschlid dwarves moved in and probably gave these dwarves some tips on how to set up a correct caste system. And that's why we'll do it the same way that we had it in Dlerschlid. We have tunnelers doing everything with stone. We have a hand of Zaludidil, who is actually Leech Breath. That's the dwarf who's going to be taking care of all the bookkeeping, managing, all that sort of stuff. We have 10 woods dwarves who are going to be doing everything with wood, go figure. A naturalist and a naturalist assistant. This is the naturalist from Dlerschlid, by the way, Einod. These are the 2 who are going to be doing all of the animal training. Cogs dwarves, they are the mechanics of the fortress. We have 10 of those as well. Just 2 iron tamers, the dwarves who are going to be doing everything metal related. 5 artisans who are going to be handling the crafts. 10 farms dwarves here. They're going to be doing everything farm related that has nothing to do with growing crops. So butchering animals, tanning hides, all that sort of stuff, just not growing crops. And in addition to those jobs, I have some new ones set up here that we did not have in Dlerschlid. I have 2 rat catchers. These are dwarves who are going to be going around catching small animals, either to prevent them from eating our food or to repurpose them into pets for my dwarves. Everyone gets a nice little pet, whether it's like a cardinal or some other tiny little animal. I'm pretty interested to see how that works. I've never actually done that before in a fortress, so I'm going to test it out, see how it goes. And also we actually have some huntsbeards now. Those are just hunters, and we have a ton of them too, because this entire time I've been playing, I noticed we have a lot of animals popping up on the map. Deer, wild boar, we have a moose on there currently. And you know, it's just kind of a shame to leave that resource untapped. So we have a lot of those. Like a lot of them too. Currently have 39 huntsbeards, which might be a bit overkill. I can almost guarantee it's going to be a bit overkill, but they'll also kind of serve as a first line of defense for this fortress as well. If some bad monster sort of thing kind of pops up in the edge of the map, then my hunters will be out there shooting arrows into it straight off the bat. That sounds like a plan to me. That being said, we currently have no quivers, crossbows, or bolts for them to use, so I'm going to have to get my ass moving on that. Other than that, I've done nothing since last episode. I pretty much just paused the game and got this stuff all squared away. So I'm going to let it run for a bit, get some more stuff situated, and I'll get right back to you. Man, I'll tell you, it's great to see all these Dlerschlid dwarves working alongside these Zaludidil dwarves, and also I noticed a lot of the Dlerschlid dwarves now have wives or husbands, and a lot of them even have children at this point. I mean, it's fantastic because most of the dwarves in Dlerschlid didn't even have spouses anymore. If they did have spouses, then they were probably dead. There were no full families in Dlerschlid for the most part. So it's good to see them coming back, building up families again, regaining that hope. Futurelanterns. Zaludidil. Futurelanterns. Breathe in that fresh air, dwarves. This is the start of the future. Alright, some time has passed and not a whole hell of a lot has gone on, YouTube. But I suppose the prison has gotten to a state where I can show it off. Take a look right up here, and you can see the prison area right here. Looks a little weird, I agree, but bear with me. You can see all these walls here kind of just randomly scattered around this area. These are columns supporting platforms up above. Alright, you can see I have a couple here. And on these platforms is where I'm going to put the goblin cages after we've captured them. There's also a couple different tiers of these platforms, just kind of suspended in the middle of this chamber here, which still does not have a roof on it, by the way, hence this snow here that you see. I was kind of hoping to make these columns appear like the forest that we live in here, like the tree trunks just scattered around. I think that'd be a pretty neat effect, kind of like an indoor tree house sort of a deal. But instead of tweeting birds, we'll hear the anguished wails of captured goblins. Yeah, that'll be nice. We still have a ways to go before it's completed. I'm hoping to make this structure be the largest one in Zaludidil. A towering wooden prison. I think that would make a nice centerpiece, don't you? I'm finishing up a roof up above this trap hall area here, kind of slanted inwards, and I think that'll look pretty cool as well, but that's not done either. couple more levels added onto the silo and to the residence area. That's coming right along. We still need a ton more residences though. Currently up to 121 dwarves and osprey people. We haven't gotten any migrant waves recently. All of the new dwarves are babies, so we got a ton of them running around now. There was an unfortunate accident earlier down here where you can see I've started channeling out another area. I'm trying to get through the aquifer down here so we could start making kind of a tomb area. I figured it'd be best if we made a tomb underground down in this stone. I mean, we could play around up on the surface as much as we want, but when it comes time to a final rest, we really got to be doing that stuff down in the earth. We are dwarves after all, creatures of the stone. It's really the right thing to do. That being said, we did lose one dwarf and a couple of babies already while constructing this area. It's very dangerous down here. Yeah, I don't know what the hell the mother was doing carrying 2 babies in her arms while carving out a staircase. She ended up falling down in this water and she drowned, as well as the babies. Which, you know, that's a really just a horrible thing. Maybe in the future we could, you know, maybe hire a sitter, something like that. Maybe like, hey Eurist, I'm gonna go take care of this staircase that's made of dirt that's suspended above this water in this tunnel here. Maybe you could watch the babies for this afternoon or something. It just seems kind of hazardous to me. Anyways, in case you were wondering, she is still down there, and after we get through the aquifer, we'll pluck those carcasses up out of the water and get them properly entombed in some nice little coffins. Well, back to work I suppose. We've been keeping an eye out for those goblins, but no sign of them yet. But I feel it, they're out there, beyond the great woodlands in the east. Soon they'll march on Zalutadil. But when? Time will tell. Idiot Osprey, get the hell down, will you? What is up with these guys? Looks like one of them snuck out and is now giving praise to the sky gods once again, next to a piece of withered lettuce. Perhaps an offering? We can assume as much. If you observe, he does have a ramp over here with which he can get down to the ground. Oh, actually, he can't. Well, how the hell did you get up there, loser? Alright, I guess I have to build a ramp for him. This fort has become such a goddamn chaotic mess. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at half the time. All these rooms and passages here. It's very easy to lose a dwarf somewhere in here. Like you have some dwarf sitting on some little outcrop and you don't realize he's there for a while. Then they end up starving or something, which has not happened again since the Pride Baron incident. Oh, I think the Osprey got down. Good, good. He's getting something to drink now. Come to your senses, go back to your field, and just relax for a while, buddy. You'll find solace in toil, I promise. Endless toil, from which the only escape is death. They're great guys. Anywho, hey YouTube, I've been playing Dwarf Fortress for a long time now, and I've never even bothered to attempt using the macro system in here. I'm a fool, YouTube. Watch this, ready? Boom, right there, right there. This is real time too, I'm not speeding it up or anything. So I figured I'd go over real quick how to do this if you've never done it before, like myself. Alright, so you do Control R to record. Then you do whatever the hell you want, like make a little room right here. 2, 3, 4. Then a little path like this, alright? And then after you're done, hit Control R again, and then you could do Control S to save it, give it a name, okay? Then you can do Control L to load one up, and then Control P does that macro. Just like that. Man, that is fantastic. I am a goddamn fool, YouTube. I will be using this from now on. And as a side note, YouTube, you can see here, if you take a look real quick, I've got hematite and chalk, which are perfect for making steel, which is, again, something I've never really done in Dwarf Fortress. Completely embarrassing. But, you know, I'm gonna be straightforward with you. I'm not gonna lie. So I think we're gonna try producing some steel this time around. And from what I understand, it's a gigantic pain in the ass, kind of like the macro thing, but once you get used to it, it's probably not that bad. Oh god, what have I done? Alright, so maybe the macro isn't a great thing to do if, you know, maybe you just don't know what you're doing. The macro owns me now. Oh god. Okay, so the important thing to do is to not touch anything while you're doing a macro, or else you'll get your shit messed up. Now I know. Alright YouTube, I've been playing for a couple more hours, and I'm starting to realize how little there is to show you. I've been doing a whole bunch. I mean, it's almost non-stop work around the fortress here, mostly with building. If we take a look up here, the prison's coming right along. All these pillars are in place. We have 3 tiers of these cage platforms all set. And I guess I'm going to continue that upwards and just keep going. I was hoping to make a nice platform to throw goblins off of, maybe down into a pit filled with spikes or something. And I suppose we'll get to that soon enough. Our dwarven civilization now has a general familiarity with training wild boars, which is cool. We don't yet have any fully tame ones, but we're getting there. And as another note, we have constant babies being born in the fortress. Soon enough, it's going to be half babies, which is good. which is good. Oh shit, we have a strange mood dwarf too I forgot about. He popped up a while ago. Ugh, that's not good. I'm gonna have to get on top of that. Ah, good. Lightast Itebzon has begun a mysterious construction. I'm glad he didn't go insane. Some migrants have arrived. Huh, it's been a while. Go figure. Yeah, there was quite a large migrant wave actually. I'm up to 144 dwarves. Do you happen to remember at the beginning of the very last episode when I was freaking out over 40 dwarves? How can we even handle this much? It's the next episode and we have 100 more than that. Holy shit, huh? Apparently the dwarven civilization of this world was a little bit more robust than I had thought. I mean, seemingly anyways. Lightast Itebzon, the Huntsbeard, has created Gimseral, a larch amulet. Let's take a look. Gimseral. Twist lens. This is a larch amulet. All craft worship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with round gabbro cabicons and encircled with bands of larch, iron, and sheep leather. This object menaces with spikes of purple spinel. On the item is an image of a oval cabicon in gabbro. On the item is an image of a fairy in chalk. Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, I mean, as cool as a fairy can be, I suppose. On the item is an image of a flax plant in gray chalcedony. Chalcedony? However the hell that's pronounced. Fantastic. Pretty cool, actually. Now throw it in the pile and get back to work. Alright, what the hell? We have another Kia here trying to get away with that amulet that was just made. Dwarves, can we please give a shit? I mean, like, if you see a Kia holding one of our precious artifacts, crawling, it's actually crawling down the hall, maybe, like, we could do something about that. You know? Maybe. Just an idea I had. You know, actually, it's gonna walk into this trap over here. Continue on your way, thieving parrot bastard. There we go. You now belong to us. That's what you get. Alright, YouTube, I'm not too sure what's up exactly, but it looks like none of the Huntbeards are interested in hunting at all. I looked online and it seems like hunting is kind of a finicky business, and I tried a couple things, but I can't get it to work out all. All my dwarves now have crossbows, there are plenty of quivers, and a ton of arrows out there, but none of the hunters are hunting. I tried disabling the labor, re-enabling it, waiting a few minutes in between, just nothing seemed to work. Well, I'll tell you what, if they're not going to do any hunting, then I might as well throw them in the military, right? Let's go with some Marks dwarves this time around. I don't have much experience using Marks dwarves, and they seem kind of finicky as well, but what the hell? Let's take a stab at it, huh? You know, I'm thinking to myself, hey, cool, let's take advantage of this forest environment, maybe make a bunch of Marks dwarves. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just won't have any Marks dwarves at all. Maybe we'll go in a different direction. Set up all these little bitch-ass targets. Let's make some Marks dwarves. That'll be really easy and straightforward, moron. Okay, let's see. We're gonna have a new uniform for a new squad that's not Marks dwarves. It will be the Pine Barb uniform. There we go. Breastplates, greaves, helms, high boots, big ol' shields, and spears. We couldn't use spears in Delicially because, you know, it wouldn't do much against the zombies there. But now we can poke all kinds of holes in those goblins and not have to worry about any zombies coming back to life. This is gonna be great. Oh, and our giant military here that I spent a ton of time setting up. I guess I'm just gonna disband the whole thing. There we go, just like that. Oh, that hurt a lot. But it's not an issue, because I'm just gonna set up a new one. And we're gonna call it the Pinebeards. That's our first squad anyways. This one's the Mad Cones, like pine cones. This one here will be the Boars. This one here, the Osprey's Eye. And last but not least, the Timberwolves. There we go. Pinebeards, Mad Cones, the Boars, Osprey Eye, and Timberwolves. Now here we go, I'm going to assign a bunch of new dwarves to all of these squads here. Oh my god, what a tedious pain in the ass. Alright, jeez, there we go YouTube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we actually have a sixth squad here, the Rabid Possums. So that's 60 dwarves who are in our military right now. And who are also completely unarmed, no armor, no spears or anything. So keep that in mind as well as we move forward. And no more goddamn Marks dwarves. Okay, now we should focus on getting some actual weapons and stuff though. Anywho, back to it I suppose. Hey, something pretty interesting here YouTube. Just for the hell of it, I put a nest box in the Osprey room, and it currently says that the nest box is claimed by Kubuk the Fields Bird. That's very interesting. It doesn't have any eggs in it right now. Here comes a Fields Bird right now actually. Oh, hey now. Okay, we have 4 Osprey woman eggs now in this nest box. That's interesting. Now, will they be fertile? Like, should I just leave them in there? and maybe they'll hatch into something. That'd be pretty freaking fascinating. Tell you what, I'm gonna leave them in there. And I guess if they do hatch, then we get ourselves a bunch of new fields birds, which is great. And if they don't end up hatching, then we have a nifty new food source. Man, you osprey people rock. An asset to the team. Alright YouTube, I'm getting awful bored of this place right now. I've been sitting here for hours and hours just doing little building projects here and there, trying to sort out the whole Mark Dwarf thing. What a pain in my ass. I need some excitement. Now, I have my first squad outfitted with steel spears. They still have no armor though, which I'm hoping isn't a problem because we're going out hunting. That's right, the Pinebeards, led by Rovad Duralthab of Steelclutches. Quite a skilled warrior, by the way. Rovad and his 9 very green recruits are gonna go out hunting. And moose. Yes, one just wandered onto the map, and I assume it's a fairly dangerous creature, especially for completely untrained recruits. But what better way to sharpen your teeth, right? I mean, if you're able to take out a moose, then anything smaller than that's just gonna be easy. So then, Pinebeards, I'm gonna have you guys assemble right out here, right at the front of the fortress. Today we get our first taste of blood. 2 dwarves, 1 dwarf, 2 dwarves, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's 50%. That's pretty good. Actually, here's 2 more. 5, 6, 7. 7 dwarves. Alright, let's head out before these guys get a drink or something like that. Alright, Pinebeards, we will be killing ourselves a cow moose. That's a female moose. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna keep an eye on this cow moose. Here she is, just on this grassy slope over yonder ways, minding her own business. Little does she know, a band of dwarven fury is headed her way. Here they come. From the north, creeping through the woods ever so slowly. Does she know? Does she care? Oh, and she's running, galloping through the woods. Dwarves hot on her heels. Oh, and she has been chased down by Kivish, a huntsbeard, one of the fresh recruits. Get her, Kivish! Oh, she has gained some headway, but Kivish is not stopping. Huntsbeard has given birth. I do not care at the moment. Come on, Kivish, get her! The moose is panicked at the moment, but is still able to scramble through the woodlands, just barely ahead of this dwarf right here. The moose is running back up towards the fortress and is caught in a cage trap. Huh, well that's an interesting turn. Well, I suppose the hunt's off, guys. But, I mean, now we do have a moose in a trap, so that's kind of interesting. Dude, what the hell is this? The useless merchant Rovad is hunting. Okay, so one of the merchants who does nothing in the fortress whatsoever is hunting. That's the one who's hunting. Not any of the 50 hunters that I have in the fortress, but the useless merchant. Of course. Of course they're hunting. He's hunting a weasel, too. Interesting. How the hell is that? That doesn't make any sense. I can't do anything with his labors. I didn't enable hunting on him. Well, whatever. Keep it up, buddy. Well, anyways, where the hell were we? Right, the moose hunt. Not a bad go for our very first hunting expedition, I'd say. Kind of a lackluster ending, but that doesn't mean these dwarves still can't hunt this moose. Just a little road bump. And you know what? I think Kivish, the Pinebeard that managed to catch up to the moose, deserves a nickname after that. Kivish, you have earned yourself the nickname Tracker, for being able to hunt down and then to guide the moose into a trap. Congratulations. That hand no Singmoral has begun a mysterious construction. Very good. Always preferable to insanity. Plus this is a metal crafter too, so I'm sure he's gonna make something at least slightly interesting. Oh my god, beauteous day, YouTube. Datan no Singmoral, the Iron Tamer, has created Umshadlor, a iron battle axe. What a perfect weapon to have in a forest environment like this. I mean, come on. Let's take a look at this beauty. Got my fingers crossed. The Ponderous Tools. Kind of a horrible name. This is a iron battle axe. All craft dwarfship is of the highest quality. This object menaces with spikes of iron, rope reed, and sheep bone. On the item is an image of a gizzard stone in purple spinal. Fantastic. I'm so happy with that, YouTube. A beautiful artifact. This is the perfect weapon to be the icon of our fortress here. Umshadlor. And so the dwarf who created it, Datan no Singmoral, you'll get a nickname as well. Datan, from this day forward, you'll be known as the Axe Mother. Fantastic work. Alright, and now that we have a fantastic new artifact axe, I'm going to assign that to Rovad, the leader of the Pinebeards and the head of our military. No longer shall you wield a simple steel spear. Now you shall wield... Like for real though, YouTube, this woods dwarf has it, using it just to cut down trees. I mean, come on. Get your hands off that, you loser. Alright, I see you're done with this artifact. I'll be using this for a little while. I think not. Okay, there we go. Shadlor is now in the hands of the head of my military, Rovad Duralfab of Delershlit. I'm sure he's going to do some great things with it. Alright YouTube, we have crossed the halfway mark of this episode by a slight margin anyways, and I'm noticing a rueful lack of bloodshed in this series so far. I mean, it's episode 3, and very little bleeding has been going on, which is kind of boring to be honest. We need some conflict here in the fortress, and you know, I've been pondering a little way to get that. Now, we already saw that these dwarves have no interest in hunting or using crossbows at all. Either that's some sort of a glitch, or it's something I'm doing wrong, both of which are on the table, definitely. But maybe we can think of that as, these dwarves have no interest in using crossbows. That's a lame old wussy thing. Who wants to fight from a range? Probably an elf or something, right? We are now armed with steel spears and armor. We'll take our combat hand to hand like any real dwarf. And so I think we need a little area where we can practice this. And so what I think we need here in Zalutadil is an arena. A grand wooden arena. And I realize that simply building an arena is not going to get us the bloodshed that we desire, but when we do get things to throw in there, either animals or goblins, it'll maximize that bloodshed. More for your money, you know? Before the end of this episode's up, I'm gonna give you some bloodshed. One way or the other, I'm gonna make that happen. So I better get my ass a-moving on a coliseum sort of an area. Where to do this though? You know, I was thinking right out here, how about? We have this little pit sort of an area with a pond in it. Maybe I can build an arena around this and then connect it up to the fortress somehow. That'd be kind of cool, I think. Yeah, what the hell, that's what I'm gonna go for. Big ol' arena centered around this little gully here. It's already coming together. Man, look at this. It's gonna be great, I'm telling you. I'm gonna throw all kinds of wild animals in there. I wish we had some more animals pop up on the map that were like you know, like a carnivorous, aggressive sort of animals. Now we currently have a deer and an echidna, as well as a whole bunch of osprey ghosts. In due time, I'm sure. Oh my god, YouTube, are you kidding me? Look at this, right here. You see this? The useless merchant, the one that was hunting earlier, killed the moose. I mean, you gotta be kidding me, right? Alright, so one of the best hunters in the fortress is a useless merchant. Rovad Castle Axes. That's a fantastic name, by the way. She has a broad body made broader still by no shortage of surrounding lard. Her teeth are tangled, and she seems to currently be holding a grudge against one of the field's birds. Oh my god, and she's a lover with the outpost liaison. This was a dwarf who lost his Mostod in Delershlit. His teeth are tangled as well. So that is a ton of character that just got loaded onto one of the useless merchants. And as such, I believe you've earned a nickname, Rovad the Useless Merchant. And in fact, I'm going to change your profession to, how about a fur trader? There we go. And your nickname will be Moosebane. Just because you're the first dwarf in the fortress who's been able to kill a moose. Not even the army could do that. This game, I'll tell you, full of surprises. One of the biggest problems I find that I have with building mega projects is that it's very hard to build a wall straight up without some sort of a hassle. You know, because if you have a wall placed, the only way to put a wall on top of that is to build a staircase on the side of it. And then you have to get rid of the staircase. Of course, if you're making a big construction like this, and you make one staircase, you can't just build walls all around. So I've been making little walkways on the side like this down here. But then after you're done, that walkway is still there and you have to get rid of it. And there's really no great way to get rid of the entire thing. So you gotta get rid of it piece by piece, pain in the ass. So I'm trying out a new thing here. I'm gonna build staircases just from the bottom. You see I have a bunch of upstairs here along the base of this arena area. And then on top of that, I'm gonna build up-down staircases. And on top of that, more up-down staircases. That way, each level is accessible from underneath. So when I need to get rid of all this scaffolding on the sides, we can just go from the top down and destroy it all in one go. It's kind of a pain to set up, but less steps in the procedure, I guess. I don't know. Hoping for the best. We'll see what happens. Alright, we've run into very few problems so far. And now the arena is 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 levels high. You can see on the north side there, that's where I plan on putting the spectator seating. Usually in an arena you see the seating all the way around, but meh, it'd be kind of a pain in the ass really. Plus, I think it'd be neater if we just had one section that can view the entire area. I think it's gonna work out fine. Plus, if I put it up on the north side there, the dwarves from the fortress can come right on over, no problem. They don't have to walk all the way around. And I gotta say, I think it was a pretty good idea to put the staircases all around the sides like this. It's gonna be a breeze to take down. Well, compared to usual anyways. Yes sir, almost done. You'll get your bloodshed, YouTube. Don't you worry. Alright YouTube, I believe our arena is now completed and ready for bloodshed. Oh yes. Now unfortunately we don't have any goblins yet, but I did manage to capture a couple of creatures. Nothing too interesting. We have 3 wild boars, and then actually that moose there that we had caught earlier, I threw that in there as well. They're all in cages that are linked up to a lever right up here in our new tavern. a tavern known as the Hungry Axe. Note, if you will, the extreme number of dwarves in here. We're currently up to 195 dwarves in the fortress. Well, dwarves and osprey people, which is a real lot, actually. I'm pretty sure this is more dwarves than we ever had in Dlerschlid. Ever. I mean, I'm not 100% on that, but I'm fairly certain. Now then, okay. Let the games begin. It's currently early summer in the year 1038, so I will dub this christening battle the Battle of the Summer Hunt 1038. We should try to do one every year at the very beginning of the summer. That's kind of like a holiday sort of a thing. I think that'd be kind of fun. We could see all the spectators ready for battle. I have these fortifications looking out over the arena, and I think it's kind of cool too that there are trees out here as well as a couple little ponds over which I built a little bridge. Plus I can do other stuff in here in the future too, build little platforms, little cabin sort of areas just to kind of change it up a bit. I think it'd be fun to drop a bunch of goblins in here, then see how they use the environment. Probably not intelligently, and I can imagine more than a few of my dwarves will end up falling into that pond there. But that's the fun of the arena right there. It's a challenge. Alright, let's call the Pinebeards into the arena, for the summer hunt is on. I'm still at work getting enough armor for everyone, but every single one of my 60 military dwarves now has a steel spear, most of which are masterwork, all made by the Axe Mother. She does some great work, I'll tell you. Alright, we can see the brave Pinebeards assembling in the field right now. We have 6 of them. There is one little door on the side that I will lock up after they all get in here, just so the animals can't escape. And as per usual, a few of the dwarves are late to the show, but we do have 8 of the 10 Pinebeards here now, including Rovad, the leader of the military, wielding Umshedlor, the iron battle axe, and I believe they're ready to go. So let's start the show. The cages are open and the animals are loose. Pinebeards, let's go. Okay, they're moving out together. They have managed to chase down a boar. Oh, and one of the boar is dead. I don't know what that dwarf was doing. Maybe jumping, perhaps? Okay, they've split into 2 squads. One squad up north has tracked down a boar and have managed to kill it. The squad down to the south is chasing down another boar. All 3 boar are dead now. Just the moose remains. Who will claim the prize? Oh my god. Whew, that was good. I'm not sure who managed to kill it. Rovad was the one who chased it down this time. Got it good in the stomach with his axe. But the killing blow was dealt by Uzal. Uzal Rampart Glow. Well, good job, buddy. And you know what? I think you deserve a nickname, because you're the winner of this year's tournament. Uzal, from this day forward, you shall be known as First Blood. Good job, buddy. Well, that was fun. Maybe if I manage to get more time in the future, I can capture a lot more animals and throw them all in there. Or goblins. Goblins would certainly be preferable. Now, my plan for the future entails a very, very tall platform where I could just throw the goblins off of and then have them land in the middle of this area, where my gladiators will be waiting for them. But we're gonna have to wait a bit on that, I think. Of course, I was able to build this entire arena in what was that, 5 minutes? For you, anyways, you bunch of bastards. Yeah, but no, we're gonna hold off till next time. Give you something to look forward to, right? Plus, it's not like we have any goblins yet anyways. So just relax, will ya? Cool your jets. We'll get to it. No worries. And before you go thinking all I've been working on is this arena here, I will show off my other projects. If you take a look over here, you can see the storage silo is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 levels tall right now, and is completely enclosed and 100% safe. And filled with junk too, which is exactly what we designed it for. So that's good. Over this way, the residence area is now completed as well. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 levels tall, with the top 2 levels having really nothing in them at the moment. I have a feeling that we're actually more likely to get a queen here in Zaludadil than we ever were in Dlerschlid, just judging by the amount of dwarves that we have. I guess we'll have to start trading something with those merchants in order to increase that possibility. But that's where I'm going to set her up if she ever does come. And then we have our grand prison. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 levels tall at the moment. And that's going to continue up quite a ways more. As you remember before, I had put these platforms in here with the intention of putting cages on them, and they are supported by these pillars underneath. But just so the whole place didn't eventually get filled up with these wooden pillars, I decided to do the rest of the levels kind of as walkways with little spots on the sides for more cages. And you can see that each level is a little bit different than the one before, kind of like a big maze. Hopefully this will have a bewildering effect on those goblins when they do get imprisoned here. Keep them off balance on their toes as we throw them in a wooden cage up in this drafty old prison tower. A beautiful thing, really. You know, I'm very surprised we have any trees left to cut down here in Zalutadil. We've been going through these things like crazy, and normally when I have some sort of a wooden project, I run out of trees like nobody else's business, but these trees pop up all over the place all the time. It has not even been a slight problem yet. But just for safety's sake, maybe I'll back off for a little bit. We do already have this gigantic compound here, and I wasn't really planning any other mega projects. Oh hell, I'm gonna waste the rest of them. Just wait and see. Well, YouTube, as always, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I do hope you'll join me next time as well. And remember, if you get any fan artwork to me, I'll make sure that it gets into next episode. I gotta tell you, the feedback I've been getting on these episodes is just fantastic, beyond my wildest hopes and dreams, and I'm so happy about that. I truly am glad that you all enjoy watching these. Really brightens my day, I'll tell you. But anyways, I have a feeling we're gonna be seeing some goblins next episode. My beard's a-tingling. I certainly hope we do anyways. But I suppose we'll see next episode. So until then, YouTube,